And with that, we'll move to the next talk. And we move to a different part of the world. The next talk is given by Yolampali Chandukrishna. I hope I pronounced well. Sorry if I mispronounced. From the India National Aerospace Laboratory in Bangalore, and also from the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research in Ghaziabad, India. And he is with co-author T.N. Venkatesh. And please go ahead. We can't hear you. Please unmute yourself. We still cannot hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. Now we now.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Now we can hear you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Hindu Krishna. I am a PhD student under Dr. T.N. Venkatesh at Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research, Ghaziabad, India. Today, I would like to share my work on implementation of higher order VINO schemes into SU2. My motivation towards this implementation is, sir, next slide, please. Yeah, my motivation towards this implementation is the success of second order schemes for many flow problems. At the same time, the inefficiency of second order schemes in resolving the vertical flows, wake flows, acoustics, etc. Here I am showing the two examples where higher order schemes are essentially required. And just to say about the existing schemes in SU2, sir, next slide, please. Yeah, just to say about the existing schemes in SU2, we have upwind schemes and central schemes for discretization. And second order accuracy for upwind schemes can be achieved using muzzle scheme. Here, muzzle extrapolation method is shown here. Here, phi I and phi j are the primitive variables at the point I and j, and phi L and phi R are the left and right reconstructed variables at the cell interface. And the target of this implementation is to see a better flow resolution when the upwind schemes are used with the newly implemented schemes. So next slide, please. This is the target upwind scheme. The target is to see a better flow resolution with the upwind schemes. Next slide, please, sir. To achieve this target, third and fifth order VINO schemes were implemented into SU2. We know that higher order schemes require larger stencils. For example, to say third order scheme require a 3-point stencil, and fifth order scheme require a 5-point stencil. And in an unstructured read code, it is very difficult to get the information at the neighboring points except at this I and I plus 1, or I and j, to say. This is the limitation here. The concept of phantom points, as explained by Zhang and Sheng, is used to overcome this limitation. In this concept of phantom points, we can get the gradient at the other neighboring points using the grade. You can get the information at the other neighboring points using the gradient at the known point, that is I and I plus 1. You should make a note here that these I minus 2, I minus 1, I plus 2, and I plus 3 are not the actual points. These are all the phantom neighboring phantom points, where we are getting the extrapolated information using the first and second gradients at I and I plus 1. Sir, next slide, please. In the next slide, I'll be showing how a stencil is constructed and how to get the information at the neighboring phantom points. We are taking the advantage that least squares gradient is gradient approximation is equal to central difference gradient in one-dimensional uniform grid, and this how we get the information at I minus 1 and I plus 2 using the first gradient. These points I-1 and I+2 are sufficient for third order reconstruction. As I said, this third 3-point stencil is sufficient. And to get for fifth order reconstruction, we need to get the information at I-2 and I+3 as well. For that, we need to know about the second gradient 2 for fifth order reconstruction. Next slide, please, sir. Here for reconstruction, after getting the information at sufficient number of points, we know ZQ scheme is used for reconstruction. Unlike this classical we know JS schemes, we know ZQ scheme uses a bigger stencil and two smaller stencils. The stencils shown here are the left bias stencil for fifth order reconstruction, and the reconstruction procedure shown here is also for the left bias reconstruction. Here P1, P2, P3 are the polynomials constructed from the stencils S1, S2 and S3, and W1, W2, W3 are the nonlinear weights calculated using the linear weights D1, D2, D3 whose sum should be equal to 1, and along with the smoothness indicators. Similarly, a right bias reconstructed variable can be obtained by mirroring the stencil about I plus half here. Next slide, please, sir. These are the polynomials and smoothness indicators I used in this implementation, and this is the procedure how we can get the nonlinear weights using the smoothness indicators and linear weights. Next slides, please. So next slide. Yeah. Because as I said earlier, the target is to see a better flow resolution when upwind schemes are used. So most modifications were done to the upwind residual function in C Euler class in C Euler.cpp. As said earlier, third order Vino scheme require only first gradient to get the information at the required points. So no extra functions are required to be implemented for third order scheme. But for fifth order scheme, three new functions were implemented to get the second gradients. These are the three new functions where we can get gradient of dou phi by dou x. The first gradient is applied as an input to these functions, where the gradient of the second gradient is calculated using these three. And the procedure as shown in the earlier slides were followed for the reconstruction. Next slide, please, sir. Some modifications were made to the config file to facilitate the user. Muzzle flow option is changed to reconstruction flow, and a reconstruction scheme option is given to the user, which allows the user to choose which higher order reconstruction scheme they want to apply. And another option, linear weight, we know is given to the user, which may allow the user to specify the linear weights for the polynomials. Next slide, please. We have done a formal order of accuracy analysis to verify the order of accuracy of this implementation. Here, thanks for the verification solutions in SU2, which made us to do this analysis in SU2 itself. Here, the method of manufacturing solution used by Zhu and True is used for the order of accuracy analysis study. Here, Euler equations along with these source terms are used to get these exact steady state solutions with these initial conditions. Domain used here is 2 pi by 2 pi, and 4 different size grids were used in this study. Exact steady state solutions were applied as the boundary conditions in this study. Here, the maximum order of accuracy observed for the third order we know ZQ scheme is around 2.5 with both weighted least squares and green Gauss. And for we know ZQ5 I observed 2.7 with weighted least squares and 3.2 for green Gauss. As you can see here that the designed order of accuracy like third order and fifth order is not achieved here. The reasons for this is, next slide please, sir. And the reasons for this is we are using a single point flux integration here, but for higher order integration we need multi-point Gaussian quadrature, and the least squares gradient which is used for getting the information at the neighboring points is at most second order accurate. And here in this implementation boundary treatment and wall treatment is not taken care of, which may give rise to some errors while solving. Next slide, please. Apart from this order of accuracy analysis, to verify this implementation, several other test cases were tried. The ones highlighted in blue are presented here. These 1D problems are solved as 2D problems by applying the periodic boundary conditions in y direction. Next slide, please. The first one is the lax problem. Lax problem is initiated with these initial conditions and was run in time for a maximum time of 0.16. Here you can observe that maximum weight is given to the largest stencil, and for the smaller stencils smaller weights are given, and the sum of these weights should be equal to 1. Even by looking at the results of density profile, we can observe that a slight overshoot is observed with the Vino ZQ3 scheme, but we can observe that a better resolution is offered by Vino ZQ5 and ZQ3 scheme at the discontinuities compared to the muzzle scheme. Next slide, please. Next one is the Schuh-Osher problem. These initial conditions represent a right moving Mach 3.0 shock wave interacting with the sinusoidal density profile, and this is a typical problem where we can see both complex smooth structures and a strong discontinuity in the same problem. And this problem is run in time up to a maximum time of 1.8. By observing the results here from the Schuh-Osher problem, you can observe that we know ZQ3 and ZQ5 has resolved the smooth structures better in a better way compared to the muzzle scheme, and we know ZQ5 scheme has almost matched the exact solution. Here the exact solution is a digitized one taken from the reference Schuh-Osher paper. Next slide, please. Yeah. Next one is the inviscid vertex transport problem. This is started with these initial conditions and periodic boundary conditions are used to the domain. And the vertex is made to convect for 10 convectives and 10 cycles. And the results here are a momentum y and density results after 10 cycles is compared with the initial time t is equal to 0. When you see here that we know ZQ5 could retain the momentum even after 10 cycles, it means it is retaining the strength of the vertex even after 10 cycles. But muzzle scheme and we know ZQ3 failed to retain the strength of the vertex. But comparatively, we know ZQ3 performed better than the muzzle scheme. If you see the density profile, we know ZQ5 could almost retain the density also, but there are some discrepancies at the boundaries here. This might be because of the lack of the boundary treatment in this implementation. Here also we are giving a higher weight to the largest stencil. Next slide, please, sir.
You've got about 1 or 2 minutes to conclude. So please
fine. This is a multi-zone propeller simulation problem where this propeller is simulated with these flow conditions, and this it is compared with the experimental results at second tip vertex and fourth tip vertex. Next slide, please. You can see here that we know ZQ3 performed better in resolving the tip vertex, and also it had retained the strength of the tip vertex to the longer distances. And these results are from SU2 version 6.2.0, and we have only we know ZQ3 results as of now. Next slide, please. Yeah. To conclude, I'll say that we know ZQ3 and ZQ5 schemes were implemented into SU2 version 7.1.0, especially into the compressible solver. More tests we have tested extensively with row scheme and weighted least squares gradient scheme. Some of the observations are like in some cases residual reduction is not as good as muzzle for this implementation, and we observed slight oscillations near the discontinuities. We know ZQ3 scheme has no overhead compared to the muzzle scheme, and we know ZQ5 has an overhead of 15 to 20% in computational time. My future work is to check the possibility of implementation of multi-point Gaussian quadrature, and I have to perform some more tests with other upwind schemes other than row. Also, I have to do some tests with the green Gauss gradient scheme. Next slide, please. Yeah, this concludes my presentation, and these are some of the references. Thank you, and I am open for questions and suggestions if any.
Thank you. It was very interesting and very beautiful and sharp results. There were no question posed. May I ask you just how does efficient-wise does this WINOS scheme compared with other similar schemes?
Other similar schemes means about muzzle you are asking in the SU2, sir?
Well, whether you compare with muscle or different scheme, they're not necessarily as sharp as the WINO, but I just wonder how much do you pay for this sharpness?
For this sharpness in the result?
Yeah.
No, I just implemented the schemes as it is, which were offered in the paper, and I just did some modifications to the smoothness indicators, so such that I can get the smooth results at the discontinuities and some complex structures. I have shown that in the polynomials and smoothness indicators there.
Okay. Okay, we'll conclude by that. Thank you very much.